Okay, today, guys, got the sword of the week, and this is the sword of the week, and we've got Mr. King. Mr. King, Dave King is the man of swords and the king of swords in New Zealand. Used to be, and he has done more swords and sold more swords than anyone in New Zealand. He's been collecting swords for 80 years, and the first sword he picked up was when he was 11 years old, and now he is 91. But he has sold and done more swords than anyone in New Zealand, and probably the best in New Zealand and the best we'll ever see for the rest of our days of sword collecting. So Dave's going to talk about swords, and I hope you're quite interested in what he has to say. So he's going to talk about the sword, and he used to own it at some stage of his life. This is Mr. King. Okay, away you go, Dave.
Hi. I'm Dave, as you just heard, and I'm down here at Shane's just to have a look at some of his swords, which over the years he's collected. Lots of them have been mine. And this sword I have here, this 22 pattern, is very nice. A very nice blade, which is up for sale.
And you've owned this sword for how long, Dave?
I've owned this for about 50 years. And it's very nice. The blade engraving is very nice. And it's made by Caser and Company.
And what sort of pattern is this, Dave?
This is a 22.
22 pattern?
Yeah. And it's very nice, beautiful condition. But the scabbard is not that great, but it fits. And if it was mine, I would have it brass plated.
And they put it through acid thing, so he's telling me a few little tricks of what they do. Yeah, so what do they do?
Make sure you put a hole in the bottom if you do get it plated, because I've had them plated years ago and didn't know, and the acid in there actually eats the blade quite bad. So if you have a hole so that when you sand them, they drain out properly. Yeah. And don't put them straight back in after you've had it plated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. So just have a bit of a talk about the sword anyway, Dave. So the grip in this is really, really nice.
Oh, the grip is good. The guard is good. Everything is lovely.
Yeah. And what sort of year does this date from, Dave?
Well, it's a Victorian, I'd say, from the 50s to 60s.
So 1850 to 1860s?
I haven't really checked the maker out, the Cater and Company, because I haven't got my book here, but I will.
We'll try to get a sort of date when this was properly made off the proof stamp.
I will get that date.
Yeah. But there's your VR, which is your Victorian crown, and this is a nice brass guard on this, isn't it?
Nice one, and it's not a fold down, so it's the early one.
Yeah. And the grip is made out of shark skin. Shark skin with nice tight wire.
It's nice
all around it. It's quite a nice sword.
Actually, they were my favourite pattern, the 22. Yeah. I all like 22.
So we're just going to go through and have a look at the blade at the moment. Yeah. So it's a bit hard to see it. We'll get better photographs of this, but it's etched on both sides of it. Yeah. And over here we've got the Victorian crown.
Do you want it up in the daylight a bit like that?
Oh, I don't know, Dave.
Can you see that?
Yeah, we can. Oh, that's a bit better.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see we're going down the blade from the etching on one side, and down to the blade, which we've got the Victorian crown VR stamped, right down to the bottom, and at the bottom we've got the proof stamp. And on the other side, Dave.
Yeah.
On the other side, it's been polished over the years.
I don't know if it's ever had one.
Yeah. But we're also engraved.
We know what it is by the proof mark.
So we're just going to go up the other side of the engraving. So we'll try to get this as clear as I can. And Dave being 81 years old, so it's got the VR stamp and the Victorian crown above it. So etched up both sides of the blade. There's no pitting on the blade, so it comes up to a nice straight point. And any bends in the blade, Dave? No blade, no bends.
No blade, no rust, no pitting.
No pitting. So very nice sword.
Beautiful.
And I hope you do, this is a true Land Wars era sword. And anything else you want to say, Dave?
No,
about it? Yeah?
Yeah, except I'd like them to have a look at some of your other swords as well.
Yeah.
Just to see what you got for sale. And if they want to make any offers, they can.
Yeah. We can go through Facebook. Thank you very much, Dave.
Just have a look on there.
Yeah.
Just show that quickly, all yours.
Yeah, so we've got a beautiful Scottish swords. Got quite a few Scottish swords. This is just some of them. Oh, that's a 3-band Land Wars gun, and a few other swords on the rack. We've just put up the rack. I've got to lift the photo a bit because I love that photo. That's one of my favourite ones. That's Lord Nelson's death on the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805,
1805.
1805.
My ancestor would have been one of those men because he was the 4th officer.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got a few blades down here. This nice bendy one is quite nice. What's that one, Dave, again?
That's a flank officer.
Flank officer. And that's very nice.
It's Georgian, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Georgian. So it's what, about 1805?
Yeah.
1805, about that period.
Yeah.
And then we've got a 1796, which is my favourite sort of looking sword. But I still like this big bendy thing. I think it's quite nice. So that's just some of the other swords going down the side there.
Yeah.
So we've got a Japanese over here. You know, World War II Japanese, that we'll try to hopefully do a deal before I put it on Trade Me or my website. And a lot of these will go on my website or Trade Me.
Nice, right.
Yeah, and there's a gun that I'll be listing soon, and we've done a video of that too. Yeah, and then a couple of sawbacks. One of these are sawbacks. The patina on this one's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
And that's about it. We've got a few rushies down there.
I think that's really lovely. Original. Everything's original, right?
Yeah.
Never...
Yeah, when they're uncleaned, they're quite nice to keep them that way. We've got a Scottish sword like that as well.
And look at that lovely scabbard, what the others are.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the wrap of the video. I hope you enjoyed the little video. And once I said, Dave King has bought and sold at least 5,000 swords over his 80 years. And he's you know, between him and his son, his late son, and I'm his new adopted son. Or a little bit of a, you know, but he sometimes disowns me. Yeah, but that's what it just is.
Not this week,
No, but not this week. Yeah. Okay, then thank you very much for watching the video.